Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. U.S. Bank Stadium holds just under 70,000 spectators, and they've come out in full force for this one. A fantastic atmosphere here in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come in pretty desperate here for a win as they've started the year 0-5.
And it seems way too early to start talking about hot seats. But guess what? When a team is 0-5, people start wondering about their jobs.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they're off to a terrific start, unbeaten at 5-0 through the first month and change.
And you can hang a lot of this early success on their defense, too. They're the tone setters for these guys, and the entire team feeds off of what they do.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by a man who's now in his 11th season in the league, Matthew Stafford at 31 years of age.
And this is a game for grit, determination, and somehow finding a way not to panic. What a horrible start for them. I mean, they haven't won a game yet. So now, as a quarterback, you're not just talking to your team. You've got to demonstrate to them what they need to do to win. He's got to be the leader by how he plays.
Hey, that lady! Mike 54, Mike 54. Hey, watch the slant,
On first down, Stafford here. That's complete to White. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. All right, let's look at the offense. Devontae Freeman, this is a guy that you wanted to talk about, so take it away.
Brandon, have you seen a running back play with such joy as well as such fury? I love the way he runs the football and attacks defenses.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
That's going to be a long day.
A carry for Devontae Freeman, who missed most of last season. Devontae Freeman, they're not going to get him. Touchdown, Vikings. Devontae Freeman, 76 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Point after here coming up. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by Kyler Murray, the #1 overall pick in April's draft, and also the Heisman Trophy winner out of Oklahoma.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game, almost like basketball.
A run for Tony Pollard, the Memphis product. It was Nick Vigil there on the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
On the ground with the rookie Devin Singletary. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Defensively, let's go ahead and meet the starting 11 for Minnesota. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
And this group talks all the time about wanting to be better, getting stronger against the run. And to me, it all starts up front. You've got to win the line of scrimmage in order to play against the run very well.
Mark 56. I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over.
From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game, because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
The numbers for Tate in last week's game: 6 catches, 111 for yards, and a touchdown.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. They run, Devontae Freeman. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
That's the way.
Off of play action, here's Stafford. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Here comes Grant on the return. And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have At the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Now this one into the hands of the tight end, Hayden Hurst. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Murray flush to his right.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Well, Charles, in the past, a lot of people called this offense one-dimensional.
I think you did.
Well,
I think it was you.
I'll be honest, I did. I think the fan base is hoping with this young rookie that they can put some wrinkles in this offense like we just saw.
I think you're exactly right, because we did have that discussion that what we've seen in the past from them, they needed to broaden, and they have done it here. Look at what he's bringing to their offense, and now as a defensive coordinator, you've got some extra work to do to prepare for him and their offense.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Singletary, and he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 4 yards the pickup, first down. From the red zone, here's the Heisman Trophy winner, Murray. He'll find Metcalf. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. These are his numbers from last week's contest. Now, you figure that he'll probably be a big factor in this one as well.
No question about it, partner. We just saw it right there. They want to get him the ball in space and see what he can do after the catch.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, there in coverage.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. They will run with Singletary. And he's going to pull his way down to about the 1-yard line. 7 big yards on the carry there to get him within range of the goal line with 3rd down upcoming. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably doing play actions. And
feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Well, let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first-quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Vikings to take over. They've dropped 5 straight coming in, so right now cherishing this lead. And they've got the football as well, 1st and 10. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Freeman. muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. A look now at the defensive starters for Philadelphia. They really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
If I'm playing quarterback against this team, after what I saw on film where they had 5 picks last week, all I'm thinking about is taking care of the football. Very careful with it and making sure I see my guys open before I throw it.
I might curl up in the fetal position.
That's not bad.
I don't think he's going to do that, though. From the gun on third down, Stafford. And able to find Garcon. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. Garcon with his first grab, good enough for a first down. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. On 2nd down, it's Freeman. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. And how about the dime look here? 6 DBs on 3rd and inches.
Daring them to run the ball.
Throwing is Stafford. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line.
Boy, Brandon, that's what I'd call an ill-advised pass right there on 3rd down. I mean, you just need a yard or 2 to keep the drive going. Instead, he's trying to hit a home run. You've got to really like your chances if you're going to take a shot like that.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy. And that's caught inside the 30. It's a gain of 34. Charles, you talk so much about quick change plays. There's one right there. You get the turnover, and boom, hit them with a big one.
And defenses plan for this all the time. They work on it in practice. But in the middle of a game, when that quick change takes place, oftentimes guys aren't as focused as they need to be.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Murray's going to keep this himself on the RPO. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Singletary here running out of the gun. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion. And that makes this 2nd and 9. Eluding the pressure right. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete. He was trying to find Noah Fant, the tight end, and it's 3rd down. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. DK Metcalf, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles have taken the lead. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead is now 10-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
On first down, it's Stafford. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Here's Freeman. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
2nd and 2 is... Prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
Freeman again, a first down carry. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now on 2nd and 13. Stafford throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
This is Freeman. And that play goes nowhere. He's met behind the line, and a penalty flag may add insult to injury. Justin Pugh, the left guard that time with a flag. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Out of the gun, Stafford. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. The Notre Dame man, Jalen Smith, able to get a hand in and knock it away.
It's been my observation. There's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter. A lot of time to change things. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. From the gun, here's Stafford. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense. Now it's 4th down. A first update now out of Jacksonville. The gap's getting wider there. The Saints have scored again. And we'll try and keep you updated on those events and others around the league as we continue through this one. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Was a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards. So many things you got to worry about, but I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this, you have to drive it a little bit lower in order to make that distance, and you also have to be worried about the interior rush that they can get their hands on it. So that's why those stronger kickers nowadays who can pop it up in the air and still travel and carry it, that's what you're looking for.
They'll run out of the gun with Singletary. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's in. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7 our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the... And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he'll kick it away for the second time. A strong running. 39 yards on the punt. Give him just 1 yard. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Looking for Garcon, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles.
What you just saw there, first-round talent, second year, even more success. A pick six for a touchdown.
A great play. And it's tough for these guys, you've told me before, to adjust in the secondary as a first-year guy. So that sophomore season is big for them.
They really start to expand the playbook for them even more. Sometimes they dumb it down a little bit to make them comfortable year one. By year two, they should have all the nuances, and now they've adjusted to the speed of NFL play as well.
Showed right there. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with still more than a minute to go in the half, time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Here's Stafford. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for second down. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. To throw again on second down. Stafford. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now it's Freeman, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
We often talk about preaching.
And got his man complete. There he goes left side. Touchdown, Philadelphia. DK Metcalf. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And time to spotlight Golden Tate. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll just keep two hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. The shotgun snap for Stafford. It's caught by Garcon. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Stafford now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10. They'll run it here. This is James White. And now off to the races down the right side. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. James White as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So we race the flag. They decline it. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And again, they stop it behind the line. That is read well for a second straight play defensively.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
To me, the defense was looking a little gassed near the end of the first half, but they've come out of the locker room with a little extra spring in their step. Wonder what they did at halftime to get them so motivated.
I don't know, but that sack looked good. Now let's see if they can build on the momentum of that play. Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Operating from the gun, Stafford. The pass complete. It's Bird. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Vikings. Terry McLaurin with his first career NFL touchdown, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point splits the uprights, and that cuts the lead to 3, 24-21. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Murray now. Sliding out of the pocket. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. The second part of that is, if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on third down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. A quick feed from Tate. Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. They run the draw play. This is White.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
He completes it to Tate. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your program? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. They go right back to Singletary. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more. Out of the gun, here's Murray. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Can't ask for much more than that. A 50-yard punt followed by a loss on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
Here we go.
They'll start the drive with a give to White. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now it's Stafford off the bootleg. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a 1st down.
Here's Jordan Berry now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Returnable here from the 38. 12 yards on the return that time, and this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. Here's Murray from midfield. Left side here taken in by Metcalf. It's a big play there for the Eagles. 45 yards. What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one riffs, the other's right there to pick them up, and they are shredding them in this ball game.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he's got it. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot. Because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. DK Metcalf with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st. Stafford now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Now Freeman, he's been busy today. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Devontae Freeman. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. As they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. So here are the Eagles to take over. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down is Murray. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his. And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. First down, Murray. The throw taken in. By Sims.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
On 2nd down now, Singletary. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. This is White on the screen. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. That catch for his career is number 589, so 11 away from 600, but it also right now ties him with Hall of Famer Fred Biletnikoff.
And we remember Fred Biletnikoff well because of the way he went about his business in catching the football. And we're seeing something similar here. Someone who runs precise routes, has excellent hands, and knows how to get the ball to the end zone.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. The end result, 21 yards. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got a 1st and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quickly. And now 1st and goal, expect them to tackle right here on this play.
It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal. Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? They'll look to run with Freeman. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead. So from 3 scores down, these guys have fought all the way back to grab the lead. And I'll just tell people what happened when they went up 3 scores. I wrote on your paper 2 words, game over, and now I'm eating those words. I was wrong.
Little salt, little pepper, goes down pretty easily.
I will admit when I make a mistake.
Well, it looked like it was going that way. This is one of those paging Frank Reich moments, and I can't believe I just brought that up, because Frank Reich at Maryland in college did it to my Tennessee Volunteers, and that was a big reason why my team lost.
Sounds like you still harbor some pain from that game.
You know, we still got a little time to work it out with the doctor.
Play action. Now it's Murray. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
Watch his flag. Watch his flag.
2nd and 10, Stafford again. And to the tight end here, Safarian Jenkins. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Jalen Smith, who took a huge step forward last year, in on the tackle for Dallas. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Back to throw, Stafford. The Notre Dame man, Jalen Smith, able to get a hand in and knock it away.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short.
Face mask. Defense.
Boy, tight game like this, fourth quarter, personal foul penalties, a no-no.
Yeah, we know the emotions are running high. The tensions are the same. Who can control them best could ultimately win it.
So now then, the penalties got him set up with a first and goal. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And that rushing touchdown is fourth, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. With his guys trailing here in the fourth, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 38, and he will return this one to the 30-yard line. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Derek Wolfe popping in for the sack. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
On second down, Freeman. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Not at all what they envisioned on third down, 3 yards in the wrong direction. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Charles, all things considered, I guess that's not a critical miss at this stage, is it?
No, but still everything helps when you're trying to finish off a ball game. And you're right, not critical in terms of the scoreboard and the team, but the guy with the golden foot, he knows he's only as good as his last kick.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. He's having a big game through the air, and sometimes those smart decisions just dump it off. That's how you continue to have big games through the air.
I agree totally. That's a great analogy, a great way to put it, because he doesn't get too greedy where everything has to be pushed downfield, trying to create big plays that aren't there. You dump it off and take that nice gain, and things add up, and now you have the kind of game he's having.
Well, that's one part of the equation. Puts him back within one score, but I'd be surprised if we don't see an onside kick coming up.
Yeah, I think you're probably right, partner. They've still got the 2 timeouts, but without that third one, they can bleed a lot more clock on you. So how confident are you that the defense can hold them deep? I think you're exactly right. I'd line up and play for the onside kick here.
Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that.
It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day.
They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Let him know, let him know. Let him know, let him know.
Stafford going to throw it. Oliver, the tight end, making the catch. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Pick it up.
On third down, Devontae Freeman. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
So now the Eagles down on the scoreboard. 23 seconds to go. Their undefeated season, it's in danger unless they can score here as they've got a 1st and 10. To throw is Murray. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. After the sack here, 2nd and 11. Well, Charles, this one's going to be hard to digest. You take the lead into the 4th quarter, lose that lead.
Y'all already know what time it is, playing skills, you did. Playing skills. Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch out flip.